Good morning, everyone. So, what happens when you combine energy with focus? And so that's what we're going to be going over today. I'm Gabby, and I'm going to be going over this topic mostly because a little while ago I went over a different kind of focus where it was more of how to focus internally. And this one is also about how to focus internally, but also with intention. So if you're hopping on, let me know where you're coming from. I'd love to give a shout out to you. And then also, if you're catching this on the replay, be sure to give me a hashtag replay down below. So let's get started. So to know more about energetic focus, which is what we're going over today, there are 4 important questions to kind of ask yourself. And this all kind of extends out to what kind of a goal you want to achieve and how you want to think about achieving that goal. So the first question is one of the most important questions is what is the target or the intended result you're going for? Because obviously you can't create a roadmap or a reason to even go anywhere if you don't even know what the heck you're doing. So that is the first question. Very important to know what specifically is the target you're going for or the intended result. So for example, if you are trying to build your team, your target would then be to get a teammate. So thinking about this, the second question is where are you relative to that? So think about where you're at in your journey. So you might be brand new to the industry, or you might have been in it for a while and you do have a little bit of a team, but you want to still keep getting teammates. So you have that end target of building your team, and then now you have to think of where are you relative to getting to your target goal of getting another team member. Are you, again, are you brand new? You're trying to follow the steps of your upline, you're trying to follow a different strategy, or are you, a little bit of a veteran who's been doing this for a while, you've been doing the same things, your team members are trying to go off of you, and you're also trying to go off of yourself to build your team again. So that's another important question. The third question is, how must you show up to achieve that? And diving a little bit deeper into that question is more of a, thinking of what actions are you taking to achieve your target. Let's say, if you are messaging people every single day, if you're doing your posts, if you are, showing up, are you more of doing just busy work, or are you actually putting intention behind these things? Because people can't actually see that. If you are just gung-ho about getting a huge team and you're not really putting what's a good word for that? Putting behind the emotion, putting behind the effort, putting behind all of these like creativity, putting yourself in there too, to try and, form a team. Obviously, you don't want to just snag anyone. You want to snag somebody who is going to work for you the best way that they can. And you want somebody who's determined and has a drive. So when you're thinking of how you're showing up to get that teammate, how are you coming off? Are you coming off, the same way that you always do? Or are you coming off authentically? Because people can actually see that. I saw it within myself when I was being fake at the beginning. And I was, I determined that wasn't the thing for me. To gain my teammates, like, how can I be fake to them and not be my real self? And so that's just something to keep in mind, where you want your target to be, and how you want to get there is basically how you show up. So if your intended target is to get a teammate, you have to show up. And a really cool phrase that I learned from my upline was you have to lead from the front. You can't be continuously just chasing people all the time. You just have to show up for your business because it's yours. And then the fourth important question is what you're currently doing or about to do moving you closer to that? That's actually a yes or a no question. So if you are, let's say again, the fun example of messaging people every single day, and you're finding that that's not getting you closer to anything, or it hasn't for a while. So then to answer that question, is what you're currently doing moving you closer to that target? The answer would be no. Or maybe it's I don't know, because you haven't done it long enough. With your goals, you do have to give, a proper amount of time. I would say 30 days is a decent, good stopping point to then evaluate what you've been doing action wise, how you're able to, ramp it up or evaluate it and see what if you're doing is working or what you're doing is not working. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about, energetic focus, and how you can use it in your business to then figure out what's going to be the best way to think about your intended results at a given time. Obviously, you can do this for a week at a time. You can do it for 30 minutes at a time, or not 30 minutes. That's ridiculous. 30 days at a time, or, any time span. But just think about these 4 questions when you're trying to get a goal. And I'll go over them again. Number 1, what is your target or your intended result? Very important. 2, where are you relative to that? Because it is very important to know where you're currently at. 3, how are you going to show up to reach that target? And 4, is what you're currently doing or what you're about to do moving you closer to that target. So remember those 4 questions when you're trying to think of your goals or the results you want to get for whatever time span. Suggestion, 30 days. Don't do 30 minutes, 30 days. And I hope this has really helped you. If it has, give me a #value. And if you know somebody that it might help out, share it, put their name down, whatever. I'd love to reach out to anyone and everyone. And I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. I got to go to work today. So again, if you really enjoyed this, give me a #value. So there is my prescription for success today. I hope you guys have a great day and take as directed.